amigos. Javier signing in for Hum of the Earth from San Cristobal de las Casas, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart: cervezas, Mexican beer. So I guess the first thing that's worth mentioning is that when it comes to beer, there's kind of a duopoly in terms of beer sales in stores. So there's two big companies. First is Modelo, most famously known for Corona, and the other is Moctezuma, which makes Dos Equis and many other lagers and different types of beers. So so with that out of the way, I'm going to talk about some of the more kind of general commonalities of Mexican beer. So at least for those two big companies that, like I said, are the only kind of ones that can sell in stores. If you're in bigger cities, you can find kind of breweries and restaurants that will sell craft beers, but definitely the exception and not the norm, and not something that you would find if you're just kind of traveling in small towns. Okay, yeah, so commonalities would be that most Mexican beer is around 4 to 4.5%, which seems pretty low if you're coming from North America or Europe. But I actually didn't mind it because most of the time in Mexico it's pretty warm, so having a lighter beer, something that's more kind of refreshing, I won't say hydrating, but you know what I mean, was appreciated. The next commonality is price. A lot of the beer here is the same price, especially if you're getting in stores. A tall can would be like 16 to 18 pesos, and a Cuayama, I believe, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Cuayama, is a big bottle of beer, usually 1.2 liters, and that goes anywhere from 30 to 40 pesos each, but a lot of stores will have promotions where if you get two, it's only 55 pesos. So that's really cheap, about half the price that you would have in Canada or the US. So although I haven't seen it yet, I did hear that there's a kind of a supermarket or something resembling that around here. So hopefully I can find it and we can check out some of these Mexican beers. So the supermarket here didn't actually have any beer. I did see another store that might do the trick. So I'll be linking a RIN article that I wrote about this, which will detail with more specificity all of the more common beers that you can find. Because I'm not going to talk about all of them in this video, but maybe I mention a few kind of standouts here. So this seems to be mainly Moctezuma here. Have Tecate Light, Sol, which is a typical lager. Indio is kind of a standout. It's made with corn and agave. It's a dark beer, but still only 4.1%. Tecate is kind of a flagship. It's a sweeter tasting lager. And this is the cheap beer, Superior, which is fine. And here we have Dos Equis, which isn't as good as Dos Equis in Canada or the US, because it's only like 4.2% as opposed to 5% and has less flavor, in my opinion. So I just talked to the shop owner there, and he said that there's nowhere in the kind of center of town where they actually have Modelo. Again, there's all sorts of arrangements with kind of the two big companies competing, so I guess that's the reason why you won't be able to find it here. What I do have to say about Modelo is that Corona is the same that you would have in Canada or the US, but a lot cheaper. Modelo Lager Especial, not my favorite, kind of a yeasty beer, but I don't really like the flavor. There's Modelo Negra, which I tried only once, but I think I enjoyed it. Modelo also has Pacifico, but that's only on the west coast, and that's kind of your typical lager, but it does have a bit of a unique twang to it. And finally, Modelo has what might be my favorite beer in Mexico, which is Victoria, which is kind of an interesting beer. It's a kind of light 4% beer, but it's a somewhat dark beer, not the super dark, but kind of dark. Has good flavor, very refreshing, so pretty great Mexican beer. And it's available in most places, not here. Anywhere that's usually not an OXXO would have it. So OXXO is that we're looking at right here is a national-wide chain of convenience stores that have Moctezuma, usually not Modelo. So here's something that I didn't see before, is Bohemia. It's supposed to be really good, but it's usually like twice the price as the other beer, so I haven't actually tried it yet, but I've heard really good things. So I ended up going for Superior, which is the cheap beer. So this is a Cuauhtémoc, but it's a smaller one, 940 milliliters, 25 pesos, so really good deal. And yeah, you know, not the best beer, but for it being the cheapest, tastes pretty good, great value. So go back to my hostel, enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to declare your favorite Mexican beer, you can do so in the comments below the video. And if you'd like to see style videos of Mexico, such as what is food like across Mexico, is it safe to travel in Mexico, and what are my favorite spots in Mexico, those are 3 other videos that you can search for on my channel, as well as just videos of me traveling through Mexico in general in the last 4 months, going to big cities, small towns, the coast, the desert, etc. So that was all part of my bicycle tour from Canada to Argentina. So if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I've been and everything that I did, you can check that out on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.